Hello everyone, welcome to Progress Consulting Service Private Limited and thank you for joining us today. Today we will demonstrate our construction project retention management module for Odoo. Retention management is a common requirement in construction and contracting businesses. Instead of paying the full contract value immediately, customers usually retain a percentage of the payment until the defect liability period or contractual retention period is completed. Similarly, companies often retain a percentage from subcontractors and vendors until their work has been completed successfully. Managing these retained amounts manually becomes difficult when multiple projects, customers, vendors, invoices, and bills are involved. This model completely automates that process inside Odoo. So now let's move on to Odoo. First, we can open the construction project. Inside the project, we can see here retention applicable checkbox. When this option is enabled, additional retention fields become available with retention percentage, total contract amount, retention date. The system automatically calculates the retention amount based on the contract amount and its percentage. Now let's go to the sales order, create a sale order. There we have already created. We can see here we have added the products. So after adding the order lines and save the quotation. So once the quotation is confirmed, here we can see all the retention info is automatically populated. Now we click to create invoice. Here we can see all retention information has already been transferred automatically. Now we can see here calculate retention amount. This open retention wizard. Here we simply select the configure retention product. After clicking create retention, the system automatically creates a negative retention line. This means customer currently pays only the invoice amount after deducting the retention value. Now we will confirm the invoice. As soon as the invoice is confirmed, the module automatically creates a customer retention entry. Here we can see retention entry is created. If you open retention entry, here we can see create invoice button, and when we create invoice, here we can see our invoice is created, and when we confirm it, here we can see under the retention we can see the retention invoice reference on the retention entry. Now let's look at the vendor side. This process is almost identical. First we can see here vendor bill. Here also we have already created a vendor bill in the draft stage. Also we have added all the invoice lines, and here we can see same as all the retention info and calculate retention amount button. When we click it, here we can simply add retention product and create retention. So here also we can see retention product line is automatically added with negative entry. Now when we confirm it, also its retention entry is automatically created. Here we can see retention entry is created for the vendor bill. Also we can create bill from here, and when we confirm it, so on the vendor retention, here we can see retention vendor reference is also stored on the vendor bill. Also we can see here customer retention entries menu. So here we can see all the retention entries which is created from the customer invoice. Also we can see here vendor retention entries. So here we can see all the vendor retention entries are created from the vendor bill. Also, when we go to the purchase order, here we can see we have already created a purchase order, and after adding all the lines retention info, all the details are automatically populated. Now let's review all the report. Here we can print purchase order report. So on the purchase order we can see retention details with retention applicable, retention percentage, retention amount, and retention date. Same as for the sales order. Here when we print sales order, here we can see also retention details of retention applicable, retention percentage, retention amount, retention date, and the sales order PDF report. Same as for the invoice. When we print the invoice PDF report, also we can see all the details of retention like retention applicable, retention percentage, retention amount, and retention date. Same as for vendor bill. When we print the vendor bill, also we can see on the vendor bill with all the details of retention applicable, retention percentage, retention amount, and retention date. Now let's summarize what we have seen today. This module enables project-based retention management directly inside Odoo. It automatically calculates retention amounts, create deduction lines, generate customer and vendor retention entries, creates retention release invoices and bills, maintain complete financial traceability, integrates with project, sales, purchase, accounting, customer invoices, and vendor bills, and provides professional reports throughout the entire retention process. This significantly reduces manual calculation, improves financial accuracy, and gives construction companies complete control over retention management. Thank you for watching this demonstration. If you like more information about this module or other Odoo solution, please contact Produce Consulting Service Private Limited. Have a great day.